streets of Cincinnati. Welcome to the jungle! Let's go. Stripes, 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 yeah. Stripes, 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 yeah. Stripes, 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 yeah. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite and stripes. Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every game day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle dripping heat, tigers strike the city streets. East side stand up, west side stand up. If you reppin' who they, time to put your hands up. Bingle stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Who they in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we live it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the bounce, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Stripes. Now who wanna move close and on? Stripes. Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange upon 'em, bingo bottom, never stopping till the beast and know who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite and Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Now who wanna move close and on? Now who wanna move on? All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole, and as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the AFC North champion Cincinnati Bengals. Now, do me a favor, if you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button, smash that thumbs up. I'm up to 1,516 subscribers. That is awesome. As always, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Now, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so. Please go to YouTube, look up Sports with Strawberry Ice, hit the subscription button, hit the bell for notification, and every time I go live, you will be notified. Also, exclusively in the YouTube chat crew, we're doing super chats. So if you want to make sure your comment gets read or support what I'm doing, please give me a super chat. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. The Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, guys, it's been a very interesting week. Lots of free agent talk. Combine is happening. Started last night. My Bearcats balled out. Desmond Ridder, Alex Pierce did great. We got the big uglies running the 40 today. So I figured it's Friday. And my seat neighbors, my boys from Section 158, started their own podcast. They did their first one last Sunday. It's called Bengals and Brews. And they've both been on my show before. So I figured let's have a fun Football Friday show. I don't have Arrow, but I got the next best thing. I got Derek. Dale.
Yeah, my name isn't Derek.
I know. I just thought that I had the wrong one. Dale, where'd Derek go?
He's got a thing this weekend. He's going to be busy all weekend.
He's got a thing. Anyway, this is Dale, not Derek. Jeez.
Yeah.
Dale, Derek, whatever.
I'm much thicker.
They're much thicker, much prettier. So
That's true.
Oh, what Bill says is, excuse me, the show's the what is it? The show started at 5:29. They start at 5:30. I don't know.
Did you
Anyway,
start a little early? It happens.
I don't know. It's whenever you StreamYard tells me to start. Anyway, you guys started your own show. It's called Bengals and Brews, and in honor of that, since it's Friday, I'm going to have a brew of my own. So
Yes,
let's
sir.
get this thing started right here. Cheers, brother. It's Friday.
Cheers, buddy.
There you go. All right.
Hooday.
It's good. When it hits the back of your throat, it's just like, So, all right, guys. So we got the free agency we've talked about a million times. We got the combine going on right now. I'm going Sunday. Have you watched any of the combine? Did you watch
A little bit.
What do you got?
I actually seen more clips. Like, it's kind of hard to watch it live because they do all those unofficial times.
Mhm.
It's like, they had a guy running 4.21. They had Olave running like a 4.2.
He was flying, dude.
4.26, and then his official time was 4.39. Like, it's still fast, but
Dude, the wide receivers were the fastest group I think ever in the combine
Yeah.
altogether. That was ridiculous.
I think there was 9 guys that ran under 4.4. Like,
Mhm.
something ridiculous.
Did you see Desmond's what his time was?
Yeah. Yeah, they said fastest quarterback, which I think if Malik Willis would have ran from Liberty, he would have even had a faster time.
He might have bought. Well, I thought it was funny when they did the 3 images together. They had
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes trailing.
Yeah. And he tweeted out, like, why'd you have to do me like that?
Why
You could
did you
just
do me like that?
left me off of there.
Exactly. So we got the combine going on. And like I said, I love the combine. I love watching and everything. But right now, and I'm starting to get into the draft. But it's hard for me to really go, okay, focus all in. Okay, the Bengals need to get this guy, because we need to find out what they're doing in free agency. And I have went through all kinds of different stuff. So Ymir Talk. I got a new one, and I kind of said this on Orange and Black Insider podcast. If you watched it earlier today with Anthony Cosenza, my new philosophy. Well, it's not kind of the same philosophy, but it's more of a, I think, realistic view of what the Bengals could do in free agency. And you and me have talked about this before, and I'll give you mine. We're talking about this off the air. We can talk about where we differ at. But mine is, I think they're going to sign at least one, big free agent name. I think it's going to be Ryan Jensen, just because there's so much talk about it. And when there's talk, there's usually fire. So I think there's too much talk that they're at least in the conversation.
Mhm.
Will they sign him? I don't know. But let's just say, for argument's sake here, that they signed him.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lock him in. There's your center.
There's your center. So there's big money there. Then you got a tackle and a guard, hopefully. So I'm more of thinking that Trenton Brown is a good right tackle that you could possibly get for, I don't know, $7 to $10 million a year. He's younger. He's right in the wheelhouse. He's 28 of where the Bengals have been signing these free agents the last couple of years. So you got him. So that still leaves a little bit extra money where you could possibly go get Austin Corbett. And I think they might get him, and they might be willing to pay him. Yes, he's a guard, but he also can play center and both guards. So they pay for a guard, but he's also a center as well. So maybe that'll help them as justifying it in their minds. So what do you think about that?
Well, my only, I love Corbett. Jensen will be good. Then the question becomes, what do you do with Hopkins? I think
You already know what I want to do with him.
I know you want to move him to guard, but I don't necessarily want that to be the plan, especially if you bring in Austin Corbett to play right guard, because I think we got guys that could fill in at left guard if you bring in three guys. If you bring in a new center, a new right guard, a new right tackle, then you say, okay, Jackson Carman, okay, Deontay Smith, you guys battle it out for left guard. Right. Or maybe you bring back Spain to play left guard even.
And I think Jackson Carman would actually do better because there's been people out there tweeting about he does better at left tackle than he does.
It was a small sample size. He played a little left guard when Spain was out.
Right.
And his PFF grades and everything was higher, but it was such a small sample size, that we just don't know. But
right. And the expectation is that Carmen and Deontay Smith will take a big jump from year 1 to year 2, which
Right.
is very possible, and it's likely to happen. I mean, look at the jump that Logan Wilson took for year 1 to year 2.
Yeah. And how excited were we when Frank Pollock came back last year?
Right.
When we got rid of that guy, I don't even want to mention his name. He should have never been here, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not only not a good coach, not a good person, but that's neither here nor there. But Frank Pollock, if we trust in him and he's developing guys, and you add some other pieces, why couldn't we see a big jump from Carmen? Why couldn't we see a big jump from Deontay Smith? There's no reason to think we can't, especially if you bring in a Ryan Jensen and you bring in I like Morgan Moses better at right tackle, but Trent Brown will work.
We can discuss that, and those might be more along the lines where the Bengals might be thinking Morgan Moses, Trent Brown. And the thing is, my issue with Morgan Moses is he's older, and we don't have a guy to replace him. That's where I'm more of a Trent Brown guy. I know he's got injured, and I know that's a red flag, but Jonah Williams never got hurt till he got to the Bengals. Trey Henderson never got hurt till he got to the Bengals. So
yeah, true.
It is a red flag. It is something you have to look at. But if he stays healthy, he's 28 years old. You can sign him for 3 years. That's your next right guard for the next 3 years.
Plus, he has the best tattoo in all of football.
He does.
If you haven't seen it, look up Trent Brown's tattoo. I'm not going to discuss it on here.
We don't need to discuss it now. It's a really good one.
We're keeping it PG, but
yes, exactly.
We cannot discuss that on here right now.
Everybody's going to go look it up right now.
Yeah,
but, let's see. If you put him there, that's your right tackle for the next 3 years, and that's what I'm looking at this way too. If you have your right tackle, your center, and your left tackle set for the next at least 3 years or more, that's great. And if you get Corbin at guard, like you said, then your left guard, it's competition between Jackson Carman and Deontay Smith, and maybe Hopkins and whoever else. Spain.
You see, you had to slip that one in there, didn't you? You had to slip Hopkins in there. I'm just saying, if you want to sign Ryan Jensen and he's going to be $8-9 million a year, you can save $7 million on Trey's contract. I love Trey; he's a good team player. That's why you'd hate to lose him. Well, you really would.
The reason I always say that is just from being a Bengals fan for as long as I am, and knowing how Mike Brown feels about his players and how Hopkins came back from an ACL injury and did not miss a game, was there for every snap. That holds a lot of weight in Mike Brown's eyes. That's why I don't think they're going to cut him.
But have you ever seen them pay? I know Trey Waynes, but they plan on him being a starter.
Right.
But have you ever seen them keep a guy that cost the same amount as a starter to be a backup?
No. He won't be. No. They wouldn't pay him that much to be a backup. No, I think he would be, like I said, he would be in the competition for guard for sure. But I don't think they would keep him as a backup. If Jackson Carman or Deontay Smith beats him out, then I think they would let him go.
I don't know off the top. I know at Texas he was very versatile. That was a big, point for him. But I don't know if he's played left guard for us at all. I mean, I could be wrong. I know he played right guard some.
You talking about Deontay?
No, I'm talking about Trey Hopkins.
Trey only played right, as far as I know.
Okay.
I'm just down off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure he only played right.
Yeah, we could be wrong. Hey, if we're wrong, let us know.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will. But anyway, we're just kind of spitballing here. But I mean, if the Bengals, like I said, what they really need to do is get 3 guys. They need to get a guard, a center, and not necessarily a center. Trey, they would be okay with Trey, but I prefer them to upgrade the position. I love Trey, but I prefer them to upgrade him. And for what Frank Pollock has said, he wants glass eaters, he wants mean, nasty guys. That's Ryan Jensen all throughout the whole thing.
You are 100% correct there.
Right. And if you listen to what he said the other day when he was they were interviewing him outside his hotel room, he's at the combine. He's not looking at college guys. He's looking at free agents. That's what he said. He goes, I'll be in there looking at free agent tape like I was before I came out here. So to me, that tells me they're looking, which I know they're looking, but they're seriously looking. And I think this time they're like, the offense has got what they wanted. They got Joe Burrow. They got Jamar Chase. Defense, Lou Anarumo's got what he wanted. Now it's time for Frank Pollock to get what he wants. I think this is his year to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I like it. This is a much better plan that you have now than you did before.
Hey, well, look, we just came off the Super Bowl, and I was just spitballing. I've kind of actually got the dig in a little bit. See
Well,
what-
and everybody just
what we
wants to be
got,
like,
dude.
hey, sign Teron Armstead.
Right. That's the thing. You
It's
can't
$20
sign all
million.
the, yeah, you can't sign all the biggest guys. They're not going because I want to sign Jesse Bates. Like a couple of guys in the chat here are saying, I want Jesse Bates. I want to keep him. So
yeah, I don't want to franchise tag him. I don't want him to be one bit unhappy. Like, get him his long-term deal. Come on, Bengals. Like,
yeah, I want him signed. I want him signed, sealed, delivered next 3 to 4 years.
Let's work it out. He's a captain. Like,
dude,
he's young.
I really do think, and my back's killing me. Sorry. I really do think that they're going to sign him because he said he wants to be here. He said he doesn't have to be the highest paid safety. They say they want to get him. And I'm kind of going with what Josh said on the show yesterday, that he thinks they're working out the details, which hopefully they are, because hell, they've been talking for a while.
Yeah.
I hope they are working out the details. Not that Josh has any inside information, it's just his own feeling. Working in, and I think Jonah or Jesse would like an incentive one too. If I get so many tackles, or if I get the All Pro, or get the Pro Bowl, or yada yada yada, hit these different marks, that he can make more money. And I think the Bengals are more willing to do that instead of give him guaranteed money.
Yeah, I'm just worried. Like, if they can't hammer something out soon, like, they're going to have to play. Which there's nothing that they couldn't then re-sign him still after placing the franchise tag. But it's just one of those things. Like, I don't know. I feel like it could leave a sour taste in general if they have to post the franchise tag.
Right. You don't want to go down that road. They basically only got a week.
Yeah, March 8th is the deadline for placing franchise tags.
Oh, is it 8th? I thought it was right when the free agency started at the 15th.
No, it's March 8th.
Well, shoot, that's even sooner than I
think. Yeah.
Sooner than I think it is then.
And then the tampering period for free agency starts the 14th.
I did a couple of days, dude. That's next Tuesday. So yeah, that's even closer than I like.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So let's hope we get something really soon.
Crypt Keeper is thinking of a nickname for you. Jake Altman, a.k.a. Jake
names. It's just Dell. That's what I always tell Derek. I'm like, we got strawberry ice. We got orange arrow. I'm like, just Dell.
Just Dell.
Basic.
Just basic.
Basic Becky. That's my name.
All right, Augie says Bates is the glue of our defense on the back end. Exactly. Yeah. He is. He helps out with, Logan Wilson, I know, has a green dot and makes all the calls, but Bates and Bell are back there helping him out. So they are big keys. And like I said, I do think they're going to sign him. But again, like you said, if they do franchise tag him, it's not the end of the world.
No,
it's not the best thing, and they can still sign him. But
correct.
People are like, well, I hope he's here next year. I'm like, well, he'll be here next year, and he'll be here the year after that. I'm not worried because worst case, they can franchise tag him twice. I don't want him to do that, but he's here for 2 years no matter what he does.
Yeah. Man, I think Bill over here in the chat, I swear it's not my burner account.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's basically saying Jensen, Corbett, Moses, big fan of that.
Yeah, he's got
BJ Hill, sign Bates, trade for James Bradbury. I know a lot of people's been interested in that because it's looking like the Giants are not going to keep him. I also like Dante Jackson, free agent from the Panthers, but I think if we don't sign a corner and we fix the line, is a good spot in the draft for a corner.
I've talked about J.C. Jensen, and I've tweeted out. I know Mike Hilton said stuff. They're not getting J.C. Jensen. I don't think he's going to call it because they have too much. They're going to put most of their money in the offense line. And this is a pretty good deep draft at corner that I think in the second round, if we don't get in the first round, they could get a pretty daggone good corner there. And the Bengals have actually been pretty good at picking cornerbacks. Except for
now, let's just say if we don't sign all these linemen that me and you both want us to go ahead and sign,
right?
Oh man, I'm really, really man crushing all the time on Zion Johnson from Boston College at left guard. I think he put up, I think it was 32 reps on the bench press today. But like his tape, he's another glass eater.
That we're gonna have to make shirts, glass eaters. We're just calling
I feel like Bengalorean or somebody had seen something.
Well, remember back in the 80s, the Redskins had the hogs. Well, we got the glass eaters now.
Yeah, the glass eaters. That's right.
I like that. But yeah,
if our line's doing good, the Bengals fan base will support the hell out of it.
Oh, exactly. But that's the thing, Dale. If our line's doing good, our offense is going to be freaking. I mean, just look what we did this last year in our offensive line. And I want to preface
Hold
our
on.
offensive line wasn't terrible the whole time. It got worse.
Imagine a dominant line. Imagine it. I'll be back in a little bit. I gotta change my underwear.
He got a little excited.
I mean, come on, that offense would be unreal.
I know. Me and AC were talking about this. Just think how good Joe Mixon would be. I mean, Joe Mixon has never ran behind a really good offensive line.
A bunch of glass eaters.
Right. Just think if he could actually go through a hole and make his cut after he got past the offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean,
imagine Ryan Jensen 10 yards down the field burying someone in the dirt, you know?
Exactly.
I love it.
And I think Ryan Jensen has played in this division before, too, so he knows all about the AFC North.
Yeah. And I mean, was he there when they won the Super Bowl a couple years ago? Like, I would assume he was.
At Tampa?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's at Tampa when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so that's another guy who's been there. You know, you're bringing in like somebody who's been there on the biggest stage.
Good point. That's another thing that Frank said. He wants leaders in the room, a voice in the room, and that's another reason why I think that's Ryan Jensen.
Yeah. Hey, I can't disagree. Like, I'm good with keeping Trey and being our center, but if you can upgrade him,
yes,
you upgrade him.
The thing, but like I said, if you can upgrade your center and your tackle, and you can get a guard, you know, in the free agent as well. Not
even the draft, like I said, like a Zion Johnson.
As long as you can upgrade that spot a little bit, we have a competition for the other one. If you have a lockdown center, lockdown left and right tackle, that makes your offensive line better right there. You can fill in with. I don't want to say fill in. I hate saying fill in, and I'm not trying to say it, but just the guards can be average, but the guys around them can make them above average. Does that make sense?
It sounds like you've been talking to the front office because they never want to sign guards either.
Well, that's the thing. I always look at it that way. That's what I'm prefacing on. It's the Bengals. They don't pay money for guards, so that's why I'm like, I'm trying to look at what they actually do.
A couple years ago, it's a new day. They don't spend in free agency. They don't go after the big guys.
True.
They went out there. They got DJ Reader. They got Trey Waynes. Yeah, the injuries hurt him. And then they went out there and they got Trey Henderson. They got Cheetah Bay Awuzie. They got Mike Hilton.
Yeah. But then last year they wouldn't pay enough money to get Zeiler. So.
Oh gosh.
Yes, you are right. You are.
I know.
They could have gotten Zeiler. That would have helped. But
yeah.
Anyway, I'm just trying to look at it how they have done it in the last 3 years, and that's how they've done it. They could have got Zeiler, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So, hopefully I'm wrong. Hell, go sign the best. Go sign Schaefer, the best guard in the whole freaking free agent. That's fine with me.
Well, I mean, like you said, if they would just get one of the spots, go get Austin Corbett.
Yes, just get
go
one.
Get him.
I'm okay with. I'm really okay with Jackson Carman or Deontay Smith at left. I'm really okay with that.
Yeah, and you still have the draft. If you draft somebody,
great.
No matter where you draft them, maybe they come in and they kick ass and they're playing better than those two guys.
Right.
Guess what? You start them.
Exactly. You never know what's going to happen. So
yeah,
and I really do. Like I said, the Bengals aren't giving up on Jackson Carman. They're not giving up on Deontay Smith. Neither am I. I think they're going to be, a good an upgrade. Eventually, are going to be our starting guards.
I like Augie's comment.
What's he got? This one was his red.
Since we don't have Dalton anymore, we need that. We got to have a red. We got to have that bright orange hair.
There you go.
We need somebody.
And Bill George says Corbett is such a perfect fit for the offense. Exactly. And like I said, I was like, maybe they'll spend the money on him because he can play center as well, which is not a bad thing because we do need, depth on the offensive line.
Is there anybody that's watching right now that has really looked very far into cap casualties? Because I have not.
Not me.
Because there could be a guy or two that we're not even thinking about because they're currently on a team.
All right.
But once that free agency starts, there's always some guys that get cut, so teams can sign some of the top free agents.
Bill said yes. So who you got? Bill?
Yeah.
He answered yes. All right, cool. Who you got? Let me know because I
mean the only one that I seen, I can't remember what site it was. It might have been the Athletic or somewhere, but I seen one that was like DJ Humphries. And I mean, he didn't have a good year for Arizona at left tackle, but
he wants which you're talking about.
Any
of them. Offense, defense, special teams, quarterbacks, whatever.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard of Taylor Lewan, which, I mean, he's another left tackle.
There you go.
I mean,
Who's he
he did
play
go to Michigan, but Busting with the Boys, good podcast.
Let's see. Bill says at offense
Well,
tackle, not much.
The point was kind of you don't know. We could add somebody that we haven't talked about once because we don't see it coming and they get cut. It happens every year. There's a couple guys that get cut that you're like, whoa, you got cut.
Or they could make a trade for somebody like they did BJ Hill.
Yeah.
Which was the steal of the century.
Man, I love Billy Price. Like, I'm a Ohio State fan. I love Billy Price. I did not see him not panning out. Like,
no, I knew that wasn't the guy they originally wanted, but I was okay with it. I thought he'd be fine. I was shocked.
Frank Ragnow, man, Detroit. Ugh.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Detroit.
Stupid Detroit. All right, Augie, best part of Jensen's game is he's nasty.
Yeah.
Big, mean, and nasty is key. We need that in this division. Exactly. And that's, again, glass eaters. Big voice in the room. Stuff that Frank Pollock's saying. To me, it's saying Ryan Jensen. Pac-Man Jones, take it for what you want. But Pac-Man Jones knows more people in the NFL than you and me do. If he said it, he heard it from somebody that he trusts.
Yep.
You know? Doesn't
and I mean,
no idea.
Agents are working behind the scenes. Like,
right.
That stuff goes around. Like, Pac-Man is someone who played in the NFL. Like, he knows people. He knows agents. He knows. Like, word gets around.
You see Augie's comments. The best thing was PJ Hill.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Like, he seems like a good dude. Like, I don't want to ever bury anybody. I mean, to make it to the NFL alone, like, is phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have a shot at doing it, but, you know.
I love BJ Hill. We'll just keep it at that. Good Hill. Trade because BJ Hill made a huge impact on our Super Bowl run.
Let's talk about that. I think we talked about this before, but if you had comes down to a choice between BJ Hill or Larry Ogunjobi, I'm thinking BJ Hill, and I think a big portion of that is how big he stepped up down the stretch in the playoffs. What's your thought? I mean, I hope they get both of them back, but
I can't remember if it was Blake Jewell or somebody that I seen earlier was talking about, you know, not popular opinion, but I think Larry Ogunjobi is more important. And I could see why somebody like would say that. Like, I go back and forth. Like, I do want them both. I think Larry gives you a little more pass rush, but BJ did that well too. Like,
Anthony just said that.
They're both so good.
Yeah, we had that conversation on the Orange and Black Insider podcast, and that's what Anthony said. He said take Larry. But my thing is, and I understand that Larry, I think, has a bigger potential to be better and more impactful. He's just too inconsistent for me, and we are in win now mode. And we can get a guy like BJ who can make the plays he made in the playoffs. And who's to say Larry wouldn't have made those? I have no idea.
I was going to say, like, Larry had a phenomenal season. Like, and that's another thing, man. Cleveland misused him.
Right.
They had him play a nose tackle, like, and this was his. You know, he finally got to come in here and play 3-tech, his true position, and he played really well. Like, the injury, man, I hate that.
Yeah,
but then BJ Hill stepped up and played phenomenal. And BJ Hill played great all year too. Yeah. And they used that rotation. That's why me and you have talked about, like, if we only sign one, you're a big fan of, like, drafting a defensive tackle pretty early too. And I understand that because they rotate those guys.
Yeah, we're going to need somebody. Yeah. They don't sign both of them. You're going to have to get some. Because I know Tupou is not a 3-tech, but he's still on the line. I mean, that's 3 guys right there that played a lot for us that are not there this year, or they're not under contract. So you got to sign one of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, all of them, and add some, and still add somebody. I think even if you sign all of them, I still think you need to draft somebody.
They definitely need another 3-tech, like, unless they bring both back.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know if they're going to bring them both back. I hope they do. The thing is, the first domino's got to fall, which would be perfect for me, is sign Jesse Bates. Get him signed, get him locked down, get the free agents off the line, get all that figured out. And then we can see where the dominoes fall as far as the rest of our free agents, CJ, BJ Hill, Larry O, Tupou. Who else is out there that we got to sign? On the top of my head. And then draft for depth. And, you know, I think if all that works out, we're going to have a really good, healthy team. Or I won't say healthy team. We're a really good team. But the reason I'm so big on drafting for depth because I seriously doubt we are going to be as healthy, in this year as we were last year. Last year, we were one of the most healthy teams in
Yeah.
all of football.
Which,
The
I
chances of
mean,
that
come
happening
on, man. We're always the opposite. So, like,
Right. No,
maybe we
normally-
can get another year of that. Come on, please.
Right. But I mean,
Stay
I'm
healthy.
not saying, I'm not talking about catastrophic injuries. You get more of them. Guys get nicked up here and there where they can't go. What you need depth.
Yeah.
And the Bengals are right now, they need to add to that, and especially on the defensive line, and I think in the secondary as well. Those are the two big ones for me.
But I mean, we did have some losses though. I mean, Osai before the season got started, Riley Reef, we didn't have the entire playoffs.
Mhm.
Uh,
Right.
who
Well,
had-
that's my point. Look, we didn't have anybody to back them up. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing too is we, like I said, lost Joseph Osai, and then when we lost Larry O, I mean, Trey Henderson and Sam Hubbard were out there almost every freaking snap.
Well, I mean, you look what we had to do. We were signing guys off of other teams there to play defensive tackle late in the
Right.
season.
Right.
Just didn't have the bodies, didn't it? You know,
Right.
in house.
Yeah, that's where I'd like to try to avoid that and get guys who are ready. I'm not gonna say plug and play, but can at least take a snap or two, especially off Trey Henderson. I mean, you're gonna make him old really quick if he's playing almost every down,
Yeah.
So I think Joseph Osai is a big key to coming back to as far as that rotation on the edge goes. But I would still like to get another edge, to get 4 guys at least instead of 3.
Yeah. And like here's a shameless plug at Bengals and Brews podcast with Derek and I this
Who?
past Sunday,
I thought you were Derek.
the Orange Arrow, Derek Davis.
Davak.
We were talking about the same thing, so check it out if you haven't. Shameless plug.
I will. I think I was on the very first show.
Yeah.
Well,
You can skip the last 20 minutes. Derek made us go way too long with that.
yeah,
He said, hey, you want to do a mock draft? I was like,
no.
yes. Not really, but I guess. So I thought he was going to simulate all the picks to the last one, like to the Bengals pick would just simulate. And he's like, well, let's do every team. And then when I talked to him after, he's like, I didn't know that would go that long. I was like, I did.
Sorry, I stopped watching by then.
Oh, you didn't miss anything.
But you guys got some pretty cool guests. You got my buddy Willie Lutz coming up. I think you got Malik Wright coming up, right?
Yeah, Willie's supposed to join us this Sunday, and then Malik. I know he's a very busy man, especially so I think he's at the combine right now. But
He is.
he agreed to come on Sunday. We may have to record whatever works for him. That's what I told him. I'm like, it's huge to get Malik at this time of year because
Malik's awesome, especially this time of year. He is one of my favorite guys to follow because he knows he's more locked in than anybody.
he makes it fun too. He don't just come out and say, "I heard they're connected to this guy."
Yeah, he gives little gifs.
Yeah, he'll post a little gift, and then you got to think about it.
Exactly.
He was talking about something about his favorite snack back in the day last year, and like that was in reference to Cheeto.
Yeah.
Awuzie,
Yeah.
that we signed, and
Well,
I didn't even see that one coming at all.
Like I said, I've said this before. I didn't even heard of Cheetah Bay before, so
I here's a second round pick from Dallas. Like he was solid. He just, I don't know, man. Sometimes I think Dallas, the expectations are always so crazy.
Well, they expect everybody to come in and be all pro right off the bat.
Yeah,
it's not really.
Which I mean, I say that, but here we're going to be. Anyone that we're
going to Super Bowl next year, baby. We're going to win this thing.
Yeah, you better contribute. We're going back to the Super Bowl.
You better recognize, bruh. Oh my goodness. All right, man. I think I'm gonna end this one a little short here because I've been talking for like 2.5 hours between this show and my show. So I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna go drink some enjoy some Bengals and Brews or football and Brews. I'm gonna watch the combine here. So tell everybody about the podcast when you guys are on, and and it's actually got a Twitter now too.
Yeah, Twitter is at Bengals Brews, and then Bengals and Brews is the podcast. We're still working out our schedule for the long term, but for right now, with what we have going on, it's going to be at least probably the next 2 Sundays, like we did this past week, around 2:30 is when we plan on going live, and it'll be on YouTube. It'll obviously be on any of the podcast networks afterwards, so everybody can check that out. We may end up switching it to like Saturday. That's why I just kind of said it's going to be a weekend.
Well, see, that's
a once a weekend show.
Make sure they subscribe and
Yeah,
hit
that'd
the
be great.
notification. So every time you guys go live, whenever it is, they'll be notified.
Yeah, and we appreciate any and all support. Like I said, it's just for fun. I don't know. We talk about this stuff anyway, so
Right. Yeah. We will literally sit on the phone and talk about this anyway. Like, so that's why we went live last Saturday.
we don't talk about that. I think that burned from the internet. I don't know what we were thinking.
I'm surprised Marissa's still talking to you.
And then we start a Bengals and Brews podcast. The whole thing is like Derek's supposed to have a different beer of the week, and I'm gonna have my Miller Lite, and then Derek's like,
I ain't drinking.
I gotta drink water today. I cannot. I'm like, dude, it's the gimmick. You can't even sell the gimmick. Like, you could have at least pretended.
I thought it was funny you guys blame me. I'm like, you guys were drinking before I even started talking to you. It's not my fault.
Yeah, but you were like, let's go. And you're like, I was like, I think Derek's asleep when you called me. And
yeah, I know
like,
you did.
you did. Get him on there. And then,
nope. Well, he was sleeping.
But Derek tried to get off of there like 30 times. And you're like,
nope.
No, we're good.
We're good, man. Let's go.
Hey,
oh, my goodness.
burn the tape. It never happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, Augie, you weren't there.
Oh, yeah. Augie wasn't there. Augie has no idea.
Augie did not come from the bars and join like real late.
He tried. He couldn't get the link to work.
Yeah, we're going to have Augie on. That was the wildest live show of all time. Burn it. Delete it.
Burn the tape.
Never happened.
All right, Dale. Have a great weekend, dude. Who dat?
All right, you too.
All right, guys. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, that's one of my buddies. Section 158. We have an absolute blast at the football games. We got him and the Orange Arrow. Depends if he's got his mask on, he's Arrow. He's got his mask off, he's Derek. That's Dale. He's Derek. The Double D Boys. Ooh, I kind of like that one. The Double D Boys. That's how I might call you guys from now on. I'm looking at Dale in the waiting room and getting no reaction. I'm very, very, very upset. Anyway, let me get the Facebook groups. Let me live stream. As always, I appreciate every single one of them. They're Who Dey Nation, Who Dey Legion, Cincinnati Reds, Ryan Third, heading for home, the Ohio State Bucknuts, Bearcat Ruckus, Bearcat Country, and you follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is at Jeff A. Trunapole. TikTok is at Iceman90. I'll be pulling a sign off later on tonight. Check it out. It's on BPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcasts. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. YouTubers, we're at 16 subscribers. You guys are awesome. I appreciate every single one of you guys. My goal is I'm trying to get to 2,000 by the time the football season starts. Hey, Crazy Alan, what's going on? Where you been at? I'm ending the show, and now you come on? Good God. Hey, AJ Trunapole there. That's my crazy cousin Alan. This guy right here. Look, yeah. Where's that? Here's this guy right here. He's crazy. Yeah, right there. Go. You want to stay away from him? I'm just kidding. Anyway, he's a good dude. Now he's showing up. Anyway, you got me all discombobulated, Alan. So check out the podcast. BeanPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Leave a note so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. I would greatly appreciate it. YouTubers, I'm trying to get 2,000 by September. Let's do it. And other than that, you guys have a great weekend. What'd you say? I know. I'm leaving. I'm sorry, Crip. I've been talking for like 2 hours. I was on with Anthony earlier on today. See, I can't even think. I'm getting tired, dude. I gotta go. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Hopefully my back doesn't hurt. You guys have a great weekend. Let's go watch the combine. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!
Let's go. Stripes, 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 yeah, stripes, 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 orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black, and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, Who Dey, we ignite in stripes. Cincinnati, we gon' rise in in the jungle, we unite in dripping orange and black and white. Who Dey, when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash in the the city streets. East side, stand up. West side, stand up. If you reppin' who that? Time to put your hands up. Single stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Blue day in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle drippin'. Nasty, natty, yeah, we live it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feastin' now. Fit the pounce, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the in the jungle, we unite in the drippin' orange and black and white. Who day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Stripes. Now who wanna move crossing on? Stripes. Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em. Yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange on bottle. Bingo bottle, never stop it. The beast and know who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our